On Christmas Day, a giant green knight rode straight into King Arthur's hall. He carried a holly branch in one hand and a massive axe in the other. He had not come to declare war, he had come to play a game. The stranger challenged Arthur's knights to a bargain. One man could strike him once with his own axe, but 1 year and 1 day later, that same knight would have to find him and receive the exact same blow in return. For a hall filled with legendary warriors, the challenge was met with silence. Arthur himself was ready to accept, but his nephew, Sir Gawain, rose instead. Gawain called himself the least important knight at the table and asked to take the risk in Arthur's place. The Green Knight agreed and handed him the axe. Gawain swung. The blade passed through the Green Knight's neck, and his head fell. For an instant, the court believed the game had ended almost as soon as it began. They were wrong. The Green Knight did not die. His headless body stood, picked up the severed head, and climbed back onto his horse. Then the head spoke. It reminded Gawain of the bargain. 1 year and 1 day. Find the Green Chapel and receive the return stroke. Then the Green Knight rode away. The months turned, winter became spring, spring became summer, summer faded into autumn. And as another winter approached, Gawain's promise could no longer be ignored. He armed himself, mounted his horse, and left Camelot to search for the Green Knight. Gawain rode along through forests, mountains, frozen valleys, and wild country. He faced cold, hunger, exhaustion, and the possibility that he might never find the Green Chapel at all. But turning back would mean breaking his word, so he kept riding. Near Christmas, Gawain discovered a magnificent castle in the wilderness. Its lord welcomed him warmly, and when Gawain explained his quest, the lord told him something remarkable. The Green Chapel was nearby. Gawain could rest there until the appointed day. Before leaving the hunt, the lord proposed a game of his own. Each evening, they would exchange whatever they had gained during the day. Whatever the lord won in the hunt would belong to Gawain, and whatever Gawain received inside the castle would belong to the lord. Gawain agreed. While her husband hunted, the lady of the castle came to Gawain. Again and again, she tested his courtesy and restraint. Gawain resisted her attempts to seduce him, but he accepted kisses, and each evening, faithful to the bargain, he returned those kisses to his host. Then the lady offered him something different, a green girdle. She claimed that whoever wore it could not be killed. Gawain was only days away from placing his neck beneath the Green Knight's axe, and for the first time, fear overcame complete honesty. He accepted the girdle and kept it a secret from the lord of the castle. At last, Gawain found the Green Chapel. Waiting for him was the same impossible knight he had beheaded 1 year earlier. Gawain had kept his promise. He had come. Now all that remained was the return blow. Gawain knelt. The Green Knight raised his axe. Gawain flinched. The blade stopped. The Green Knight mocked him for fearing the very blow he himself had delivered so confidently 1 year before. Ashamed, Gawain steadied himself. This time he promised he would not move. The axe rose again. But the Green Knight did not kill him. Instead, he gave Gawain only a small wound. Then he revealed the truth. The Green Knight was also the lord of the castle. The hunts, the lady, the kisses, the green girdle had all been part of the same test. The first 2 blows were withheld because Gawain had kept their bargain. The final nick was for the only thing he had hidden. Not because Gawain was wicked, but when death seemed close, he had been afraid. Gawain returned to Camelot alive, but he did not return feeling victorious. He wore the green girdle openly. To Gawain, it was a mark of shame, a reminder that when his courage and honesty were tested together, he had chosen his own life. He believed he had failed the idea of the perfect knight. But Arthur's court did not see only failure. They welcomed Gawain home, and according to the poem, the knights themselves took up green bands in his honor. Because Gawain had discovered something more difficult than defeating an enemy. He had discovered the limits of his own courage. The Green Knight never truly needed to prove that he could survive a blow. He needed to discover what Gawain would do when Gawain believed he could not. And that may be why the story has survived for centuries. It is not really about whether a knight can face death without fear. It is about what happens when a good man discovers that he is still capable of fear, and still capable of weakness, and must decide what to do with that knowledge. Gawain returned wearing the green girdle because he never wanted to forget the moment he fell short. But Camelot transformed that symbol of shame into something else. A reminder that honor does not belong to only people who never fail. Sometimes honor begins with admitting that you did And perhaps the Green Knight's greatest lesson was this: perfection was not the test, truth was.